That was interesting because the water was getting very low after the first 6 weeks of sailing. I couldn't carry a lot. And so I was pumping a seawater purifier maker that actually makes water, a water maker. So it was a desalinization unit. But that only makes a tiny amount of water. So when the rains came near the equator, I was collecting it in the sails and into buckets. And we collected a lot of water like that.
And how many fish did you have to get a day?
I would usually just catch one and eat the fish that I ate because I didn't have any refrigeration. I didn't have enough power for that. So I was just, one fish would be enough, a big fish would be enough for me and Bella, or a small shark.
All raw?
All raw. Yeah, I lost my cooking. That was another story.
And tell me something, how does raw shark taste?
Surprisingly nice. I mean, I never thought I'd eat raw shark. I was a raw vegan for a long time, actually. But I needed the energy at sea, and the raw shark was quite... Maybe I was just very hungry. I don't know. Bella liked it too.
She liked everything?
Well, no, there was some things, I was just writing in my book, one of the toughest moments was killing a bird. Because there was like these ducks that had wings like eagles. And so these ducks were sort of... She wouldn't eat the ducks.
Tell me how far the ducks were inside the sea, because I think you get the ducks and the birds when you're closer to land.
Well, that's what I thought too. But these were way out at sea. And they would fly for a long way, and they would just live on the boat. There were so many of them that would be flying and coming back. Yeah.
How about, which was your favorite time there at sea when you were alone and just Bella?
Bella and I would love to sit on the net on the back of the catamaran, and I would free dive deep into the ocean, and there'd be manta rays, there'd be dolphins, and I'd be in the middle of the most remote sea in the world underwater, and and turtles. I mean, you live for moments like that.
You know what I would think? Maybe I think I would have been panicked to be at sea with no communications, not knowing what was going to happen to me, and you seem to be happy.
Yeah, look, I had some communication, and I seem to be very happy in the purest parts of nature. The purity of the air and the water and the wildlife. That there were moments, but it was quite magical.
And which was your toughest time?
The toughest time was the realization that I was not getting stronger. I was getting weaker, and the storm was coming. And
the storm came?
And the storm was very close. Tuni picked me up before it came, and so the Tuni in the ship. These men were very clever with hurricanes, so they were used to running from them and finding the best spots.
Después de casi 3 meses a la deriva, Tim pensó que no iba a sobrevivir. Un hombre de más de 1,80 m, pesando 45 kilos. A él se le habían acabado las fuerzas. 2 días antes de ser rescatado, se había acostado pensando que era su momento de morir, hasta que un buque atunero lo encontró.
Tenemos unos radares a bordo que ven a 30, 40 millas y ven las sombras, ven pájaros incluso volar. Y entonces vieron un objeto flotante que no sabían lo que era. Entonces el capitán, pensando que ese objeto flotante podría llevar pescado abajo, que ocurre mucho, peces, porque buscan la sombra y puede haber atún, mandó el helicóptero. Entonces fue el helicóptero, vio que había un hombre tapándose los ojos por la luz y con la manita haciendo así, muy debilitado, y traía una perra al lado y estaba ya sin vela. Una tormenta le había tirado la vela, se la había llevado, inundó el barco, no tenía comunicación porque se había mojado todo el equipo, y en ese momento pues llamaron al barco, dijeron: aquí hay un náufrago que hay que salvar de verdad.
Las leyes marítimas y más en aguas abiertas exigen que si se rescata a un náufrago, este sea llevado de inmediato a la costa. Para un barco atunero como el que rescató a Tim, dejar de pescar para regresar antes de tiempo tiene unos costos económicos enormes.
Es que en el momento que ya queda la autorización dada, ya entonces entra un protocolo, y el protocolo es que el capitán del barco, si es extranjero, tiene que comunicarlo a la embajada, tiene que comunicarlo a Gobernación, a la Secretaría a la Dirección de Migración, y también tiene que comunicarlo al capitán de puerto del puerto donde va, que en este caso es el Manzanillo. Entonces ya rápidamente el protocolo empezó a funcionar y ya pues dejaron de la zona de pescar y ya para traer al náufrago.
Y don Antonio dio la instrucción que se rescatara al náufrago. Y es así como llega el piloto Andrés Zamora por Tim.
That was quite incredible, you know. So, you know, Andres is here today. His words were the first words that I'd heard for a long time, and they were, you know, do you have any drugs or weapons on board? And, you know, it was scary as well, you know. We were out at sea.
Hi, sir. Do you speak English? Yeah. How are you doing? You okay? Hi, my name is Andres. We need to know if you have any drugs or weapons on board.
No, I have no drugs or weapons.
Are you sure?
I'm sure, yeah, you can check everything.
Suddenly,
That's protocol, isn't it?
it's protocol, of course, yeah. So it was quite an incredible moment.
Se encontró con un velero y en el velero pues, se encontraba Tim en una condición pues bastante preocupante, que difícilmente lograba en su momento levantar la mano para pedir ayuda. Y sí es importante pues también darle su lugar al capitán Orlando Cepeda, quien iba en su momento con Cristian, que es el buscador, y posterior ya se hace la localización, se avisa a la embarcación hace la llamada a la empresa, y la empresa tuvo comunicación con el señor Antonio Suárez, quien dio la indicación de atenderlo, de ayudarlo lo más pronto posible y que se parara toda pesca, que se parara toda maniobra para poder enfocarse en el rescate. Por seguridad de uno, si uno aborda una embarcación y llega a tener armas o droga, bueno, y si tú no preguntaste, pues puedes terminar involucrado en un problema, ¿no? Que es lo que nosotros menos queríamos. Entonces sí, se lo hice la pregunta y también pues preocupados porque es muy raro ver a una persona sola en medio del mar, casi siempre van en pareja o en más. Y bueno, esperábamos que podía haber hasta otra persona quizá en algún estado ya ya en condiciones no favorables, ¿no? Entonces pues estamos tratando de mantener alguna conversación con él y fue muy enfático en eso, que estaba solo y que no tenía, y bueno, entonces abordé su embarcación y ya cuando vi su estado realmente dimos la comunicación con el barco. Mira, cuando subió al barco en el María Delia, él sube y pues ya platicando me abraza y se pone a llorar y pues de que estaba muy agradecido. Y él comentó que una noche antes, bueno, la noche anterior ya se había dado por vencido, ya estaba como que ya no veía salida porque venía un huracán, Calvin, que era el huracán que estaba muy próximo a él, que de hecho cuando lo rescatamos y se hizo toda la maniobra, empezamos avante para tierra por indicación de don Antonio, de llevarlo cuanto antes posible a tierra. Sí nos tocó muy mal tiempo ya, si a una embarcación como de esas dimensiones pues nos afectó bastante, imagínate un velero de ese tamaño, ¿no?
Ya pensaba que iba a morir.
Sí, él comenta eso, que ya no tenía fuerza, pero imagínate 42 kilos y su estatura es de 1,87.
Si quería cuidar mejor, le daba de comer a la perrita porque él se iba a morir tarde o temprano.
Sí,
¿no?
tenía ese como compromiso moral, ¿sabes? Como estás aquí porque yo así lo decidí, yo te traje, entonces todo lo que pescaba Tim, se lo entregaba a Vela. Por eso era Vela, no sé si viste en las imágenes cuando llegamos, Vela estaba con muy buena condición física, pero Tim sí estaba en una condición muy mala alimenticia, ¿no?
Hoy es tu gran amigo.
Fíjate que sí se ha generado una cercanía bastante peculiar porque, bueno, nos conocimos en medio del mar en unas condiciones poco común, ¿verdad?
And finally, how long did it take for Andres to see you until you got on top of the tuni boat?
Well, they were spending some time investigating the boat, and Then the boat carried Bella and I back to the main boat where the captain and crew were waiting, and suddenly all these men were cheering, right? You know, and that was an amazing moment. You know, all these men, they were strong men that had been at sea a long time. They'd already been out for almost a month trying to get their quota of fish, and they'd stopped everything to come and get me, and they were cheering. You know, I thought, who are they cheering for? Is it me? You know, like, and I thought, oh, that's why.
Tim, your man used to be always in meditation and in very calm places, and suddenly they rescued you and you became a rock star and you're all over the tuna plant.
Oh my God, yeah.
How does that feel?
It was very tough. I mean, I realized later that all the media heard about this while we were still at sea, and I was still recovering, trying to, you know, get used to my new friends that were on the ship and who were looking after me, and I did not speak any Spanish, you know, and it did a lot for me. I had a lot of wounds on my legs that they helped heal me. There was a lot of infections and things like that, so I was very grateful.
Would you, just to finish this story, would you, if you had the decision, knowing what was going to happen to you, get on that boat to start sailing to the Polynesia again?
That's a good question. You know, the answer, I wouldn't do it. But in hindsight, I'm glad I have. But I wouldn't have done it knowing all of that. That's a good question.
But that story changed your life.
It changed my life, and it saved me, really. Like, there's some soul-searching moments you have, you know, as you mentioned, meditation, and these are all things that really lift your spirits when you're forced into that situation. You'd never do it if you knew, but you're glad that you have done it.
Thank you very much. Anything else you'd like to add?
I'd just like to thank Mexico and all of you people, you know, that touch my heart, because I don't always understand what you say, but I feel your heart, and I'm so grateful. Grateful to Tuni and all the brave men. I'm grateful to Don Antonio for making the decision to come and get me. You know, it was not a decision every man would make, you know.
So I'd like to thank you for sharing your story with me.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. I'm very grateful, and your questions are very good and very heartfelt. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.